Once a year, thousands of Hindus stream to Saudati, a temple in southern India. They have come here to express their devotion to the goddess Yellamma. But Saudati is no ordinary temple, for Yellamma is the goddess of prostitution. In this temple, prostitution becomes a religion. Young girls, many of them not yet 15, are consecrated to Yellamma. They become Devadasis, love servants of the goddess, and their lives will be dedicated to prostitution. Their families believe that this sacrifice will allow them to be born into a higher caste in the next life. Before the long 5-kilometer walk to the temple, the devotees must cleanse themselves by washing in this pool.
और इस जत्रे का महत्व ऐसा है कि जो लोग धार्मिकता के बारे में ज़्यादा बात करते हैं, उनको ये अच्छा लगता है। वो बोलते हैं ये हमारी देवी है, इससे हमको सुकून मिलता है। जब हमको कुछ नहीं, हमारे घर में भी कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो, समझो बच्चा नहीं होता और कुछ वगैरह वगैरह जो है, वो बातें इस देवी को हम नवस करके, उस नवस के बाद हमारी इच्छा प्राप्त हो जाती है, पूरी हो जाती है। ऐसा हमारे लोगों का कहना है।
Devotees of the Yellamma goddess come from the lower castes of the Hindus. Some are gripped by religious fever. They dance until they drop. Men are also followers of the temple. Many put themselves into service as transvestites. It's illegal to dedicate children to the goddess, but that's irrelevant because the government does nothing to prevent it. To become baptized as a Devadasi love servant costs $52, money which, according to one human rights organization, flows straight into the pockets of the politicians. So the government turns a blind eye. The girls are obliged to serve the priests in the temple, and that includes sexual services. According to one report, some priests have up to 40 girls at their service. It's a price the poorer families are prepared to pay for a better life in their next reincarnation. Swapan Mukherjee is the leader of Free the Children of India. He fights for the rights of all children, and particularly for the girls that become prostitutes. He estimates that 6,000 new girls are dedicated to the temple every year.
Most of these girls are from poor families, mostly. And this is a burden to them. It is a burden to the poor family, first thing. Second thing, if another belief they do have, that if they give their girl to that temple, then they will also get blessed from the God.
The Yellamma cult is hundreds of years old, and the belief has become deeply entrenched in the people. But it's more than that. For many families, it's a matter of survival. Sons are important. They will care for their parents later in life. But daughters are a financial burden. After marriage, women belong to the family of the husband. But in order for the marriage to take place, the daughter must have a dowry. Even today, many girls are killed at birth because the parents know they won't be able to raise a dowry. Despite the fact that the practice of dowries is now illegal, and that even the Yellamma cult forbids it, this tradition continues. And so many parents sacrifice their daughter to the temple as an escape route from financial difficulties. The ceremony in the temple is kept very secret. Entry to non-believers is strictly forbidden.
When they are in the temples for devotion, the priest of those temples, they used to sexually harass these girls. When they are enough satisfied with this girl, then the girls are used by the pandas. Pandas are those persons who help the devotees to reach to the god to offer their pujas, praise. So this panda again use those girls. And when these girls leave from those temples, the society never accepts them. Then they are sold out in the sex market.
The girls end up in the red light districts of the big Indian cities, like Calcutta. Here, sex costs as much as a bottle of beer. She says her family can't feed her. Sons are more important. Now she's scared about getting infected. Her family threw her out, says this young girl. She also came from a poor family. Her family couldn't afford a dowry, so she's here. The older prostitutes look after the young girls. They've formed a group which explains to them about their rights, safe sex, and AIDS. The figures from the United Nations AIDS organization show that India has the highest HIV infection rate in the world. Between 4 and 5 million people are infected. She was 13 years old when she was forced to have sex. Then she became pregnant. Since then, she's been in the sex industry. She wants to help other women to escape their fate. With 48% of all Indians unable to read or write, explanations are difficult. Amongst women, the illiteracy rate is even higher. Because of this, older prostitutes take to the streets to distribute condoms. These are quickly hidden. Dr. Smarajit Jana is well aware of the problems the Devadasis encounter when they leave the temples.
So a majority of them will not be recognized by even their close relatives, and they will die silently. No one will actually bother for that. No one will actually inquire what has happened for those old sex workers. That's the reality.
In these 3 streets alone, 2,500 prostitutes offer their services. Around 20,000 men come here every day. The women earn somewhere between 75 cents and $4 a time, and this soon disappears to pimps, madams, or landlords. In the back courtyards, rooms are rented out by the hour. This woman rents her own bed to an average of 8 prostitutes a day.
এখানে কেন কাজ করাচ্ছি? আমার স্বামী কাজ করতো আগে, চাকরি করতো এমএমসিতে। তা অফিসটা বন্ধ হয়ে গেছে আজ 12-13 বছর। তাহলে এবারে আমার অবস্থাটা খুবই খারাপ। যা ভাড়া অনেক পুরনো ভাড়া, 30 টাকা থেকে আরম্ভ করে লাস্ট 150 টাকা।
The young girls are in high demand, and as long as the Devadasi system remains in place, there will always be plenty of them on the streets. Girls who never had any choice in their lives but to follow a path of religion, devotion, and prostitution.